Hello everybody, this is Wormlight Tarot. Welcome to this tarot card reading for the upcoming summer. This is meant for those of you who are partnered, but if you have some sort of connection in your life, you could find your message for the summer in this reading as well. However, there will be a reading for singles as well, so please check that out if you watch this video and you don't really resonate with the reading, or even if you do resonate with the reading, of course, you are welcome to check that video out, okay? So we have 3 piles of cards here. Pile number 1, I suspect this is blue agate. When I bought this, it didn't have any kind of tag for what it is, but it's dark blue, as you can see. Pile number 2 is rainbow fluorite, and pile number 3 is Labradorite. This is a general reading, so please take in only messages that you resonate with and leave out the rest, okay? So now I will let you have a few moments alone without me talking with these cards so you can see which one you feel most drawn to, okay? Hello, pile number 1. You chose this blue stone that is possibly blue agate. And here is your reading. So let's have a look. So I'm going to be looking at the energies of you and your partner and your relationship, as well as the energies of the summer, and we can see what is happening there. So these are the first cards that I pulled. Let me just push this a little bit further away. So I'm going to read this pile here as your partner, this pile here as your relationship, and this pile here as you. However, the energies between you and your partner may be swapped, or there may be some overlapping happening, so please pay attention to that. So anyway, these cards here tell me that your partner is someone who is very emotional and earthy at the same time. They are very grounded and present. Their home or career is possibly their realm. That's where they feel most comfortable with. So either they're very dedicated to their career or their home, or both. And I feel like they are someone who looks after other people, like you, your family, their family. Looks like that. And there is a lot of love in them. We have the Lover's card here, so I do feel like they feel a lot of love for you, as well as, if there's any kind of pull within them towards something that they want, I feel like they're not afraid of going after it, because the Lovers is about attraction. So it could be just attraction in general in life, like if there is a career that they want to try out, they're gonna work and make it happen, And then we have the 6 of Swords here, which is about living some sort of emotionally unfulfilling situation behind. Like it could be perhaps limiting beliefs or some kind of past that, you know, wasn't good for them. But it has a sense of feeling haunted by that past as well. So it looks like your partner hasn't left something behind. Maybe they've removed themselves from that situation, but it still haunts them in some way. And then let's look at your relationship. So I feel like you two come together into this relationship from a very balanced, intellectual, mental, communicative situation, because we have the Queen of Swords here and the King of Swords here. So I feel like maybe you're not that emotional, or you don't meet on an emotional level. Maybe you don't really share those emotional thoughts that you may have, but you rather meet each other on an intellectual and mental plane. It doesn't mean that there wouldn't be any love between the two of you. It just means that maybe you tend to intellectualize your emotions, or maybe you're both a little bit maybe withdrawn, or there's some sort of fear of intimacy or something like that between the two of you. Maybe you're not comfortable opening up to each other. Maybe you're more comfortable talking about intellectual, mental things, or maybe about your plans, because the Three of Wands here tells me that you are building foundations for something. Like it could be a relationship, but maybe you're also working towards something together. Like maybe you have a business together, or maybe you're building a home, family. So I do feel like you are a team, a very balanced team. Okay, and next, these three cards here represent you. So we have the Nine of Wands, the Hermit, and the Sun here. So I feel like you are struggling with something. It has been going on for some time, and there's a big process with a lot of inward looking energy that is very positive at the same time, because we have the Sun here, which is about discovering yourself. So I feel like you have been trying to find yourself and your place in the world, and maybe it has caused you to withdraw a little bit and become like the Hermit. It could be what I said about that. Maybe you don't share your thoughts openly with each other, with your partner. It could be something like that you're going through something, but you're not really telling your partner about it. And maybe since we have the Six of Swords here, they're also not confiding in you about what they're going through. But at the same time, I do feel like strong energies between the two of you, and like you're very strong people who've found their path in life, or who are in the process of discovering that path in life. I also pulled three cards to represent where you are this summer as a couple, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, just to see the vibes and energies for the two of you this summer. So we have the Four of Swords, Page of Cups here, and the Three of Wands. So I am getting pretty harmonious feel from your summer, because we have a card of rest here, rest and recharge. So I particularly feel like whatever is going here could be released this summer or put to rest, as at least. And then we have a Page of Cups here that is about inspiration and love. So you know, if you've been going through something individually or as a couple, I do feel like there is a chance to rekindle that, you know, passion and that emotional connection in your relationship. And with the Three of Wands here, so we have two Three of Wands in this reading. So I do feel like you are definitely planning something or building foundations for your relationship. But I also feel like maybe you're planning to travel somewhere or move somewhere, since, you know, you're kind of standing here or floating here and kind of looking into the distance. So it could represent your future together or some other place where you want to be together. I feel like maybe it could also be if you are in a long distance relationship, so maybe you're looking to kind of meet each other face to face or maybe move in together. Something like that. But yeah, very harmonious, relaxed vibes this summer. That's what I'm getting. I also pulled 2 more cards to offer some sort of advice for this summer. So the tarot card that I pulled for advice is the Eight of Swords, which is a card of trapped energy, feeling trapped, maybe like limiting beliefs or something is not being shared. You're not really moving forward from something. So this could be a release, like I said, from this situation, because we do have swords, a lot of swords energy here. So that's a release from your struggles. Or if you are in a long distance relationship, you know, maybe you've been feeling like your relationship is not really progressing or something like that, and you are now being advised to kind of release your fears, your anxieties, your limiting beliefs, and just, you know, trust the universe and go on with the flow of life, because I'm getting a lot of positive vibes from this reading otherwise, despite these few slightly negative cards. And we have the Sun here and the Lovers here, so I do feel like there's a big pull between the two of you, and a nice harmony as well with the King of Swords here and the Queen of Swords here. So yeah, I'm just getting really positive vibes from this relationship, that you are both being pulled towards each other despite some problems or hardships that you may be having sometimes, but you know, that's part of life, right? The last card that I pulled, I decided to pull an oracle card from the Yogic Path oracle card deck, and the card that I pulled for you is Krishna. So Krishna is a god in Hindu mythology, and he's a god of compassion and love. So I feel like you are being advised to approach each other and this relationship and yourselves with a lot of love in your heart, and just to view each other with compassionate eyes. Like, for example, if these slightly negative cards here are about fears and arguments or something like that, you are being asked to look at them and not be afraid of any conflicts that you may have, but just to trust the process and trust, you know, the love that rules the universe. So that was your reading, pile number 1. I really hope that you got something out of it. So thank you for tuning in. Bye-bye. Hello, pile number 2. You chose this rainbow fluorite. And here is your reading. So we will be looking at the energies of you, your partner, and your relationship, as well as the energies this summer. So there will be 4 piles of cards as well as some advice cards. Okay, So I'm reading this pile as your partner, this as you, and this as your relationship. So it is possible that the piles between the two of you are overlapping or swapped in some way. So please pay attention to that. So these cards for your partner are the Hermit, the Chariot, and Four of Swords. So I feel like they are going through something that requires major strength and willpower from them. It is something that makes them pull inward a little bit and makes them feel like they have to balance between different things. And it could be that it has something to do with your relationship or just something that they are going through in their life in general. But I am getting the sense that they are on the top of the situation and they do know how to handle it. But if you are feeling any sort of withdrawn or pulled energy, that could be the reason. And then we have the Four of Swords here. I feel like since this card is closer to your relationship, it means that your relationship makes them feel rested and recharged. Could also mean that whatever is happening here, they've reached this point of just being okay with the situation, that they got it under control. They're not that stressed out about it. It has caused possibly a lot of mental anguish, but they're no longer in that situation. They've achieved some sort of peace with the situation that they are going through. And then let's look at your relationship. So I feel like the two of you meet in the middle in a very mature balance, because we have the Queen of Coins here and the Queen of Swords here. So it is possible that one of you is more earthy and kind of present and grounded, possibly your partner, and one of you is more, intellectual, communicative, maybe sharp with their tongue. So there are like different kind of energies that are meeting in your relationship, but I feel like it happens in a very balanced way. And then with the Ace of Coins here, I feel like you are building something together. Like maybe you just met, or if you are in a long-term relationship, it could be that it means a new phase in your life and you are building something on the material realm. Like maybe you're looking to move, looking to build a house, or just invest time and money into your relationship. So these cards here represent you. So I do feel like you are very enamored and in love with this person, and you are very happy about your relationship. And you are someone who is very emotionally mature and loving. So we have the King of Cups here and the Two of Cups here. So those are very important cards when we're thinking about love and relationships. I feel like if your partner indeed is going through something, I get the sense that you do understand that they have to maybe pull away from you a little bit. But then with the Four of Coins here, I feel like you feel stable and secure with this relationship, but there's also a sense of longing with this woman here. So it could be that you miss your partner if they're indeed kind of going through something and they're not really always meeting in the middle as much as you would hope to. And it can also mean stinginess in a way, that kind of stinginess and clinginess to this relationship. But I'm getting very positive vibes from your cards. I feel like you are a very kind of mature person, especially on the emotional realm. Very loving person. So the next cards that I pulled represent your summer together. So the vibes, energies that are going on this summer. We have the Hierophant, the Emperor, and the Knight of Wands. So with these two major arcana cards, I feel like you are committed and in love, but maybe your relationship is not that emotional. I get a sense that maybe you've been together for a long time and you don't have the most exciting relationship, but you have built a stable foundation for your relationship, and you are very committed, and that continues this summer. The Hierophant can also be about spiritual love and religion, so it's possible that you do have that spark in your relationship, or maybe you've met in religious or spiritual circles. And then with the Knight of Wands here, Knights are fire energy and Wands are fire energy, so it's kind of like double fire. So I do get the feeling that there will be a lot of action at the same time this summer. So it could be that you will end up doing something, like if you're going on vacation, so you will be doing a lot. Or if you really like building something together, like maybe you're renovating a house or building a house, it will keep you busy. You will be doing it together. So the next two cards that I pulled are an advice for you for this summer. So we have the Six of Wands here. It's a card of victory and celebration, very bubbly at that. So I do feel like you are happy about this relationship, this connection that you have, and everybody knows it. Like I said, maybe you are in a long-term relationship, or maybe it's possible that you are getting married this summer if you are not married yet, because this is a card of celebration. And then we have the Hierophant, which is about commitment and institutions, like for example marriage, as well as starting this new earthly journey together here, as well as a lot of loving cards, balanced cards. So yeah, I do get that sense that could be happening for some of you. And then I pulled also an oracle card from the Yogic Path oracle card deck, and this card refers to the throat chakra. So it is a card of communication and keeping that communication balanced. Could be either by talking and listening, but it can also refer to other types of communication as well, like just supporting your partner in a wordless way, or whatever feels most appropriate for you in your relationship or in your connection. So I feel like this card advises you to keep your communication open and balanced, and it advises you to consider whether you are giving or getting more in terms of communication. And what I said about maybe you longing for them a little bit more could be an advice for you to open up about that and talk to them, but also for you to understand that they may be going through something here that makes them pull away a little bit. So pile number 2, that was your reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it and that you got something out of it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, pile number 3. You chose this piece of Labradorite. Let's put it here, and here are your cards. So we will be looking at the energies of you and your partner and your relationship this summer. There will be 4 piles of cards as well as some advice cards here. So let's start with these 3. So I will be reading these cards as your partner, you, and your relationship here, but the energies may be overlapping or swapped between you and your partner. Okay, so pay attention to that. So let's look at these cards for your partner. Kind of describes where he is this summer, overall, and in your relationship as well. So we have the 4 of Swords, 9 of Swords, and King of Pentacles, King of Coins here. I'm just getting this sense that they are half at rest and recharged and half filled with fears and anxieties. It could be about your relationship or something external to your relationship. So part of them is kind of happy, sleeping well, and sometimes they wake up with a lot of negative thoughts. I feel like this is something that they are going through alone. So swords usually they can have external energy, so that's like communication with other people, or internal energy, so your thoughts and ideas, memories, things like that. So in some cases it could be that they're dealing with a conflict with someone or within your relationship, or just something that is going through within their own head. Okay. Then we have the King of Coins here, which is a very confident, abundant card. And since it's closer here to your relationship, I do feel like they do feel kind of wealthy and happy, confident about your connection. And this card also gives me a sense of them being, maybe they have a business, or they're just someone who's very accomplished in life in some way. But all of this is kind of going through in the background or within their thoughts. So there's a little bit of a discord going on. So next, let's look at your relationship. So we have the 5 of Cups, 3 of Wands, and 10 of Swords here. So what I'm feeling is that they're somehow feeling maybe emotionally depleted, exposed, not happy with everything, haunted by something that has happened. Like maybe you had an argument at some point, or you don't see eye to eye, so it's still plaguing their mind. And then we have the 10 of Swords coming from your side, so I feel like well, it has this energy of kind of hitting rock bottom, but it can also be a good sign, because if you've had an argument, you just hit the lowest point and you can only go up from this point. And there's a sense of melodrama to it as well, since it's not just one sword but 10 swords. And then we have the 3 of Wands in the middle, which tell me that you are building a future together. It has a sense of looking away from this situation, but I do feel like you are kind of building it together, looking away together. And maybe if everything hasn't been going that well for you too, you're still kind of focusing on what you've built so far and just trying to figure out how to build more, how to get to places together. So you haven't given up. So we have the King of Cups for you, Justice, and Knight of Swords here. When I look at these, we have Kings of Coins for your person and King of Cups, King of Chalices for you. I do feel like you are coming, both of you, with a mature energy into this relationship, but maybe your sense of relating to the world is a little bit different. You come from a more emotional standpoint, and your person comes from this more kind of earthy, grounded standpoint. It could be that, you know, you're not always seeing eye to eye, but you're still meeting each other maturely, despite, you know, possible arguments and things like that. And we have the Justice here. Makes me feel like you are, you know, you get what you give, basically. Sort of karmic law of attraction thing going on here. And then we have the Knight of Swords. It makes me feel like there's, maybe you're like a rash communicator. You're very inexperienced with the Suit of Swords that can be about mental energy and communication. Knights typically like to go after what they want. So I feel like despite this mature energy, maybe you want something from this person, or you've been causing arguments because you don't really control this Suit of the Swords, so your mental energy, your thoughts, and that has led you to this point where you just, maybe you over communicate, you over demand, despite having this very mature emotional card here, the King of Cups. You're not using this energy to relate to your relationship and to your person. And if that is the case, you know, this Justice card will deliver what you deserve. So it's basically a card of, if you've treated your partner fairly, ethically, you will get that sort of treatment. That will be the outcome for your relationship. But if you've been causing arguments, maybe because of immaturity or for some other reasons, you know, that will reflect on your relationship as a whole as well. I'm just feeling like there are way too many swords here, because we have not only swords cards, but other cards have some sort of sword or knife as well. So we have a sword here and here. We have these claws here, lots of swords. Not really swords, but wands. There's a knife here, swords here. So that could be like excessive mental energy, excessive communication. You're just meeting on the level of mental energy. Okay, but then let's look at your summer together. So we have 8 of Wands, Judgment, and 8 of Cups. So we have 2 8 cards. So that means that you are progressing in your relationship. We have a positive card here. It's about fast-paced, positive movement and going with the flow and building something positive for yourself in a very fast-paced sense. Then we have the 8 of Cups, which is about walking away from an emotionally unfulfilling situation, despite, you know, this cups here could be about something positive, like a relationship that you've built together, but you decide to walk away from it. Now, of course, it doesn't mean that you will necessarily walk away from the relationship. It could be that if you've been having arguments, you will solve it this summer by walking away from those arguments, and you will build something more positive together, and you will move on from this situation that has been kind of distressing maybe for the both of you. We have the Judgment card here. That's about, you know, reflection, evaluation, and awakening to something more, something that you want. So I feel like this summer will be very fulfilling for both of you in a way that you will realize what it is that you want in this relationship. You have a justice card here and judgment card here, so that kind of tells me that some sort of resolution is coming for both of you, and you will understand yourself and your relationship a lot better than you have before. And lastly, I pulled 2 cards for advice, so let's look at them as well. So first we have the Knight of Chalices, the Knight of Cups. He is very, kind of typical romantic hero type of person. He relies on his emotions. He goes after them. He goes after what he wants. So as an advice, I would read that as rather than using all this mental communication energy of the swords, start speaking from your emotions, start listening to your emotions, to your intuition, and just be more loving, compassionate, romantic. If you are really in a situation where things haven't been going that well, I feel like there is a chance for you to make things better and save your relationship and just make it move forward to a more positive path than what it has been on previously. And then I pulled in an oracle card from the Yogic Path oracle card deck, and it's called Rajas. It's a card of action and energy and aggression. So it's also a very passionate card. I feel like these gonna advise you to be more emotional, passionate, romantic, but it also has a positive and negative side to it. So sometimes when you just apply so much passion and pressure and will, it feels like too much, and maybe people kind of want to walk away from that. And sometimes when you're not really pushing enough energy into situations, it just feels very lackluster and like you're not working together towards something better, like you don't care about the other one enough if you don't have that passion, energy towards them or towards a relationship. So I would listen to, what it is that you are doing. Are you being too energetic, passionate, action-oriented? Or are you being, the opposite of that? Okay. So that was your reading, pile number 3. I hope that you got something out of it. And thank you so much for tuning in.